Good evening to one and all present here. We welcome you all to the fortnightly webinar by the Coimbatore chapter of Computer Society of India. And today's webinar is about de-stress for success. So this session will be handled by one of the renowned consultant and expert in this domain. And let us move into the session. Now I invite our chairman, Dr. Venkatesan L, trustee, Lakshmi Venkateshan Charitable Trust, Coimbatore, to welcome the gathering and provide a brief overview about the chapter initiatives. Sir.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Marasan sir. Dear participant, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Computer Society of India Coimbatore chapter first online professional meeting, which is the second Wednesday evening. As we embark onto the new journey, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you who continued our support, active participation in our chapter activities, our vibrant new office bearers and managing committee members who all are experts and willing to support to all our activities throughout the year. Our office professional, Mr. Durvesh sir, will support all of us in organizing many events now and future. Today's session, led by Mr. Baburaj, who is my good friend, on the topic called de-stress, promises to be the insightful and relevant, addressing the challenges of stress management in our fast-pacing professional life. This initiative marks beginning of many such enriching engagement aimed at fostering knowledge, exchange, professional growth among our members. Mr. Baburaj will be introduced soon by my fellow professional after this address. I would like to spend one more minute on the benefits of CSI membership. As a CSI member, you are part of a distinguished fraternity comprising of IT leaders, academicians, and innovators, which is for the last 60 years. The benefits of membership include exclusive workshops, seminars, certifications, cutting-edge areas in artificial intelligence and data security, networking opportunity with a global affiliation such as IFIP, BCS, ACS, and IEEE Computer Society, career development through our training program, the publications on CSI, which happens. The future plans, looking at ahead, our chapter is committed to empower its members through workshops, seminars, collaborations. We have our boardroom and meeting hall for rental basis to anyone who wants to organize events in our location. You can use the same for your benefit. Let's work together, make the CSI Coimbatore chapter a hub for innovation and excellence. I encourage all members to actively participate in these initiatives and contribute towards vibrant professional community. Thank you for your dedication and enthusiasm. Together we achieve a great milestones. Thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite our MC member, Professor Dr. V.S. Anita Sophia, to introduce the guest speaker of the day. Ma'am.
Good evening, one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Mr. Baburaj Nair. He's a fellow of Institute of Directors. Currently, he is a strategic business people advisor in India and UAE, and the leadership transformation coach. His flagship felicitation programs are building purposeful performance and developing the leader in you. He is also a secretary and director, strategic initiatives of ISF Chennai, chapter Coimbatore. He was also a part of Apex executive leadership team of the Hindu group of publications, then Harrison Malayalam, Iker Valvo, and many other organizations. He was the youngest advisor to Aga Khan International Primary Education Project, Deputy Director of Social Development Center, Academy of HRD, and advisor to academic institutes like Kumaraguru and Crescent Business School. He has published more than 40 papers on people management, business strategic, and co-authored 3 books and authored 3 books. So I invite Baburaj Nair sir to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Very happy evening to one and all, and extremely happy and very grateful for the invitation by Dr. Venkatesh. And I understand that this is the first program after he took over as the chairman. So thank you very much, Dr. Venkatesh, and also Anida for giving a brief about me. And I think that is sufficient. Thank you very much for that. And I also thank the CSI for inviting me for this session. And I hope the group sitting here, the participants who are coming here to listen to it and also to understand how can they de-stress and make a successful and happy life. Any one of you feel that there is a need for stopping and wanted to ask a question, something like that, put it on a chat or just unmute and ask questions. So do not get uncomfortable with this kind of a feeling that, how do I ask this question and all these things. Before we start, can I just have a hands up here, maybe a kind of a thing, maybe a indication saying that all of you are comfortably seated and relaxed. Okay, fine. The first thing which I want is that now it is not, your photos are not visible. Most of you are, in an invisible form. So my request to all of you is that just relax. Please close your eyes. I can't see whether you are closing your eyes or not, but still, please close your eyes. And just take 10 seconds. 10 seconds means maybe counting up to 20 takes 10 seconds. Just smile to yourself. Just smile to yourself. And some of you will be struggling to smile to yourself, but just try to smile to yourself when you are closing your eyes. Just smile. Enjoy yourself. Just relax for 10 seconds and then you can open your eyes. Take 10 seconds.
போயிட்டேன்டா ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டேன் என்ன கதைன்னு ஒண்ணும் தெரியல.
Participants, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Surya Solai.
Surya, comfortable? Okay, fine. Great. Now since you are settled down, how many of you feel stressed at this juncture? Just say yes, no in chat. How many of you feel that you are stressed? Just put it yes, no in the chat. Just only Niveta Sri, yes. Okay, yes. Good. Out of 106, only 10 or 9 people have indicated that they are either stressed or not stressed. Okay, so Some of you said that yes, stress. Some of you have said no stress. So let me take as a 50-50. Most of you are feeling comfortable, but some of you are still going through discomfort. Let me take that as a stand. I'm not going to talk during the next 30 minutes, which I am there. What the structure which I am planning to do is that share my learning and experience as a professional and my life. How did I manage the stress and how did I de-stress? And then I'm not going to talk about hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis, or what we call it as, HPA. I'm not going to talk about neuroendocrine. I'm not going to talk about various theories such as attachment theory, cognitive dissonance, growth mindset, and various types of well-being like emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Or I'm not going to talk about stress mindset, the term created by Professor Krupp. I'm not going to talk about any of these things because all these things, whether talking about the brain, talking about how the brain works, all these aspects are available with the Google Swami. And along with now ChatGPT and Gemini of Google, I think it is much more information is available. So what is that which I am going to bring it to you different from whatever is already known to you or understood by you? That I thought will be differentiating this session with whatever sessions you might have undergone on various things, because knowledge is available. Now, what I have done is that normally, because well-being or stress is one of my key area of learning, I did a lot of research. So all these models which I was talking about, whether it is attachment model, whether it is growth mindset, whether it is cognitive dissonance, or whether it is talking about hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis, or neuroendocrine, after studying all these things, I have created my own theory, my own framework, and that is what I'm going to submit it to all of you, so that you will learn and understand it in a much more simplistic manner rather than talking about neuroendocrine and talking about the neurons, how it is working and all these things. That's how I am going to share this content and this one. Meanwhile, I will request the group of people, almost 105 people, I will request people to use the chat box to put your thoughts, questions. I will not be able to see when this presentation is making because of it is Google. But I think Durvesh and Dr. Maharajan would help me in understanding what are the inputs which has been given in the chat box. Okay, so let me start with sharing.
Thank you, sir. Now let me stop my presentation so that yours will be visible.
Yeah.
So now you can share your screen.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Is it visible?
It's clearly visible, sir. Thank you.
Clearly visible to all of you. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to talk about it. And the first one which I wanted to understand is that how many of you know, and some of you can unmute and speak, what is the difference between pressure, tension, and stress? Do you think that all these three are same, or do you think it is not it is different, or do you think that it is words which are used in different context? What is this difference between pressure, tension, and stress? Since I can't see the chat box, kindly help me with that chat box, whoever has given any insight on it, or you can unmute and speak. Anybody knows what is stress? Can you define? Somebody who said that I am not going, when I asked the question whether you are stressed or not, somebody said that no, somebody said yes. So anybody would love to share it? Or define what is stress? Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, I am audible. Yeah. Any inputs from the participants? in the chat box? Hello?
Vaishnavi has asked mental or emotional strain.
Yeah, my question is simple. My question is that what is the difference between pressure, tension, and stress? Is it same or is it different? If different, can you explain? Any one of you would love to explain it.
Nivita Ashri says a feeling of emotional or mental pressure.
So what? That is stress? Is it stress or is it pressure? So how do you define pressure? How do you define tension? How do you define stress? Any idea? Most of us use these terms interchangeably or presume that this is same. Some of us know that there is a difference. Some of us feels that it is okay to use, okay, I have pressure, I have tension, I have stress. The three terms are totally different. The pressure, I have tried to, some of you are engineers, I tried to use the, physics as a base to help you to explain. The pressure, when we talk about it, it talks about external expectations or aspirations. So it is P is equal to pressure is equal to force divided by area. So that means a particular area, when an external pressure, external force is applied, it is called pressure. Similarly, when in our mind, when there is an external expectations or aspirations created by the others, and that is when we get pressure. That means when we are moving in the same process, there are no pressure. But when there are external expectations, maybe from parents, maybe from bosses, maybe from colleagues, maybe from siblings, maybe from any of the key stakeholders of your life, when they have expectations and you are not in a position to deliver as expected by them, there comes pressure. So P is equal to F by A. Now what is tension? Tension is when you are having the impact of the pressure on your body. Tension is basically a tensile in nature. From a physics perspective, it is tensile. It impacts the entire body. And like any board, any material, when you have tension applied on it on a physics sense, when you apply it, it impacts the entire body. Similarly, when the pressure increases, there are aches, body aches comes, headaches comes, all this tension creates. So pressure is an internal process, while pressure is an external forces applied on the body. When the body gets uncomfortable and it is stretched the muscles because of the pressure, then we get tensed. And the last one, and that is where it's a state of being strained or excited physically or mentally. And the last one is stress. Now, stress is basically an internal process. It is an internal resistance, a material when subjected to external forces. But so if there is a material which is there in any of the material, if you take it, and then you put pressure on it, external pressures, and then internally, how that material will be felt is what we call it as stress. So it can be due to tension, it can be due to pressure, it can be because of the compulsion, which is from the external, but being felt inside, which is called stress. Understanding any confusion here? The pressure is something which is very clearly external expectation or aspiration. Tension is something which you are feeling, the body gets ache, various aches which is created out of tension. Stress is an aspect of pressure plus tension is equal to stress. So it is something which is being felt internally, and therefore it is very, very critical to understand stress in that perspective. All these things are okay, but as far as it is not impacting or becoming dysfunctional, that is something which we need to be aware of. However, in our normal life, something we do not give that kind of an importance to this process. There are myths of stress when we are talking about stress is same for everyone. Nothing can be done about it. Only major stress needs attention. No symptoms, that means no stress. That is a very, very dangerous thing. I don't have any, because most of us, when we go to the doctor, when you go to otherwise, do you have stress? No, I don't have stress. But it is very difficult for you to appreciate and understand stress. That is why I have sent this survey to all of you, so that you will be able to, at least I will be able to provide some direction towards that. But unfortunately, only till 4 o'clock, only 14 people out of the registered people have done. Based on that, I will not be able to provide any insight or inputs. But offline, if anybody wanted to reach out to me to understand, that would be fine. And the last one, most popular stress reduction. So some company, some person is saying that this was useful to me, and that may not be applicable to the other person. So these are some of the fundamental myths on stress. Stress, what we need to understand is that could create major health issues and can impact our potential, impact our performance, productivity, and our overall well-being. But when what we need to understand is that the pressure which we are having, the tension which we are having, are actually foretelling us that the stress is actually started having on us. That means it is started impacting us. We seldom gives much importance to these signals which we are getting it. Most of us, all of us actually, not most of us, all of us get signals. But in the, quote unquote work and quote unquote family, quote unquote life, we do not give importance to it. And therefore, stress continue to grow in our system, and that afterwards gets into serious illness, and then gets into a irrevocable situation, or a situation where we will not be able to change or return. So we should not move in that direction. So how do we go about it? My learning after doing all these things, what I understand is that we need to build a caring mind. A caring here is an acronym which I have created out of the learnings and research which I have done in place of stress. So now stress is an acronym, caring is an acronym. So at the end of the session, at least these two words, if you remember, one is what is stress and what is caring, I think that you got some idea about how do we address on it. Now let us go a little more deep into it. This is what we understand as stress. Most of us, our biggest problem starts, whether it is in our life, that means work life, whether it is in school life, whether it is in family, that means elders. Our biggest problem is that we are always looking for success. And the success we define, how do we define success, makes a lot of difference in managing stress. And connected to that stress, success, there is something called a target. Every success means we define, if you achieve a specific target as defined by you or as defined by the others around you, that again puts pressure, then tension, then stress. Then how relevant it is. Most of us, most of the time, take too many work activities and do not know what is the relevant task which I need to address it today, now. And we take up too many activities which are not relevant today or now, for our own productivity, our own performance, our own success, we redefine success in a negative manner because we are understanding the relevance differently. The fourth one is engagement. Most of us know the word engagement, but engagement per se creates a lot of stress and strain. Engagement with the family, engagement with the organization, engagement with, because engagement is not a single line item. Engagement happens only when multiple other things do happen in an organization. So, and when the engagement is not, there is a disengagement, then there is a stress happens. Then every success you want to sustain. Sustaining success also puts a lot of stress. And the last and most important thing on connected with the stress is spontaneity. Everything we wanted in today's fast moving world, everything we wanted in speed today, just now, do it this, do now, do this, do that. But that speed, if it is not aligning to your caring framework, which I will be sharing now, it will further create stress. Now, I am sure that you understood the acronym of stress. That is, you have to define what is success. You need to define and understand the target. You need to understand the relevance. You need to understand how the engagement is working, how sustainable success could be developed, and how speed means to you. If that definition is wrongly understood, stress is bound to happen. First, it will be pressure, then there will be tension, and stress will start happening. So how do you address it? That is what's that create a caring mind. Now, what is C? Now, most of us, we live in a world of illusion. And I am very carefully saying that the world is illusion. We presume that we have the capability to succeed. So we take more than what we can do because we wanted to be successful. And we take one of the person who has come, was asked for the NEET examination. Now, what do I wanted to mean and what do you mean by I am successful? Today, success is defined by our parents. Success is defined by our friends. Success is defined by somebody else. What do you want to achieve? What do you define success? Is it compared to somebody? Did you assess your own capability to achieve whatever it is there? So unless you assess your capability and understand that, your success definition and you will bound to happen, have success, stress. Target, either it is imposed on you or you yourself is taking, like expanding of the business sometimes happens if it is an entrepreneur, or doing something which is more than what you can chew. So you take some target which is not achievable, it is bound to create stress. Now, when you are talking about relevance, you need to do a reality test. What is my capability? What is my achievability? Achievability to achieve whatever I have I have agreed upon or committed. And I need to do a reality test continuously because the environment is changing, the context is changing, either in the family or in the workplace or in the colleges or in the schools, the context is continuously shifting. Or you are in your friend circle itself, because the school's friend circle may be shifting to in college and this one and friend to a workplace relationship. So there is a need for you to do a reality test. Now, engagement without involvement, that means there must be a sense of what you wanted to achieve. And that sense is missing. That purpose is not missing. You are doing a work without any meaning. You are teaching something, but it has become a mundane activity for you. There is no excitement in that. Then it creates a lot of pressure and stress for you. You don't enjoy. And when you are not enjoying your work, That means you are not involved in that. And when you are not involved, you are not engaged. And when you are not engaged, you will bound to have stress. Now, do you want to be sustained? Then you need to nourish. Why do you want to nourish? Means develop yourself. Again, contextually. Every context, you have to be differently, expectation from the external world will be different. That is a reality. You cannot change the external world. You cannot change, but you can define yourself and your capability to address whatever it is possible. One of the biggest problem what we are having is that in our ability to say no. And how we are saying no. Now, does it mean when I am continue to say no to everything, will I get an opportunity to learn? So it is a paradoxical situation. So, but until and unless you nourish yourself, you develop yourself in a context which is differently requiring different levels. Schools, the expectation will be different. Family expectations will be different. The friends' expectations will be different. But you need to define what you wanted to do, and accordingly you need to nourish. And if you do not do that, your sustainability will be an issue. Again, the stress will get formed. The last one of the caring is being graceful. Most of us believe that hurry or haste or speed defines success. From my own last 30 years of experience in different sectors, I have learned that being graceful, being focused, being purposeful, that is what makes success sustainable. And that is what makes us to be quiet, calm, and calm towards within us, and makes us de-stress ourselves. The more and more we look at success, target, relevance, engagement, sustainability, spontaneity, based on what others are expecting on us, or what people push onto you, and you are not in a position to take a stand, and you do not understand the caring framework, that capability, what is your capability, whether it is with the, again, with the given capability today, where will I be able to achieve? Now, a lot of people have aspiration. There is nothing wrong in being aspired. We need to aspire to grow. But is this aspiration is congruent? That means connected or aligned with my capability today. And if I'm not, and if I have an aspiration, what I need to do to achieve that aspiration, then what success you will get will be more meaningful. Then you are doing a reality test. You are involving yourself because you have a passion, you have a sense, you have a purpose. Then you are developing continuously, consistently, and you are graceful in your growth. You are not trying to grow ad hoc. You are not trying to create money. Lakshmi definitely comes to you if you have Saraswati applied properly. I always say that based on my own experience. I never pursued money. And that is a true experience in my life. But today, touch wood, I'm in a very well-placed situation. I believe that if you are aware, how do you manage the caring framework, your stress can be managed. Let me ask, this is somebody asked me, can you explain my life and my experience? So now I will just place this. I will not say anything for next 2-3 minutes. Just listen to this and see what is coming out of it. This is my life. I tried to portray, thanks to the gentleman who was asked for it offline, that can you explain what my life is? I never shared this, but then I felt that what is wrong in sharing this? And it has helped me. I'm grateful to that gentleman or lady. I was very happy that I never thought about putting this in a picturized form. So please go through it. I was born with a golden spoon. I had a constrained, joyful hold. And similar to it, what has happened? Born with a golden spoon, brought up by house servant. Parents were there, they were traveling, constrained and joyful childhood. It was childhood, but it was always constrained. I was meritorious, but I was not, at that time, was not a very great, intelligent guy. I was an above average boy. Then I actually had a dream of being a doctor, but I could not. And that again can be considered as a failure in my actually purpose, if I look at it. And I had to discontinue my studies, but I have not stopped. I started working at the age of 18. I worked in ops, sales, and transportation. In the initial life, personal life, I had a lot of drawbacks and big bats. Began to succeed in personal life, started growing as a professional, and then I decided to leave corporate without even having a job in my hand, and fully knowing that I will get a job, because what is that? I am known as a professional, growing as a professional, using the caring framework. And I got into consultancy and academics and started learning new perspectives and skills, moved back to corporate life. And over the last 20-25 years, I'm known across the country for my function and my work. I'm known in my field. And there are a lot of friends, there are people, colleagues who reach out to me even after 10 years, 12 years. And it's very pleasant to know that somebody after almost 14 years reaching out to me and say that, sir, you have helped me to grow. I left corporate well before their retirement because I wanted to retire well before and do not want to, catch hold of because I was one of the best paid person in the southern India. At that time, many people asked me, why did you leave? Because a lot of money is coming. But there is no end to it. So we need to define what is success very clearly. Then the stress will not be happening. Now today, I am comfortable. I am almost 50% of my time I am spending to giving it back to the society. Then I do research, I work on it, I reach out to people, I do coach, I advise companies. And Lakshmi definitely do come. And if it does not come, that's okay. So this is my stressed and de-stressed life, which I wanted to first time I am sharing with all of you. And I am grateful to the person who has asked, so that it helped me to also draw up my own life story. And one of the person asked that, what did I learn out of my experience? So besides this stress acronym, besides the caring acronym, I say that I will advise each one of you become birds. In my life, when I have gone through all these failures and this one, what made me, and of course, I'm looking back and saying all these things. At that time, if you ask me, have you thought about it? No, I don't know. But if I look back, how did I do what I did? I will say this. We need to build relationship. Now today, most of the relationship is for, it is something which you expect, but you need to build relationship by being trustworthy yourself. It is not a simple relationship which we are having. We need to build different types of relationship for different purposes. Never bring money into it for building a relationship. Never build expectations based on that relationship. Be inventive and imaginative. Every time there is always a better solution. So if you get stuck, try to find out something else. There will be a solution. And I always could bring out different solution and different context. My friends, my seniors, my relationship always helped me to reflect and understand. Another interesting thing which I learned is that divert your attention when you are absolutely under stress. I learned violin in between. I started writing poems, and today I publish these poems. And I start seeking help. If I don't know, seek help. There's nothing wrong in seeking help. Being vulnerable is actually a strength, but we are afraid of seeking help, afraid of seeking feedback, because the choice is yours, whether you want or you do not want. The more and more you withdraw yourself and wanted to conceal yourself within you, the stress become more and more manifested in you. So this is what I wanted to share with each one of you in the very short time which we are having. Don't be stressed, be caring. Thank you very much. And with gratitude to each one of you who are listening to me, I am open to questions. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. See, Dr. Venkatesan here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, how do I use one tip which for my day-to-day de-stress?
See,
So I'm just
fundamental issue is that how do we define and understand various terms related to the stress? That is what I have defined it in that, because how do we define success? How do we define our own, the target which we are defining it? Fundamentally, our biggest problem is that not able to say no. The second one is that our inability to prioritize our task. So the moment we start learning how to prioritize and how do we very meaningfully articulate the word no to people, whether it is at home, whether it is at within the society, I think almost your 60% or 70% of your stress will go for a success.
I agree.
There is a question from Vaishnavi Selvaraj.
How can I manage stress? Vaishnavi is asked the question. First of all, you need to understand whether it is a pressure, whether it is tension, or whether it is stress, as defined by me in that note. So first, you need to define and understand whether it is a stress. And then you need to define that whether the stress what you are talking about is what is the cause of it. It can be a single cause or it can be a multiple causes. So until and unless you understand and differentiate it, managing stress by using any of the methodologies which is available will not help you. And then you can use, once you know that, you use that framework which has been given, like understand the stress framework and then understand the caring framework and use that, you will be able, and then you can use and check whether you are doing the birds. It is very easy. Most of us will make a statement saying that everything is fine with me. Do you have a relationship? Oh, yeah, I do build a relationship. But when you have a stress, when you have this one, are you in a position to share that with you, people around you? Are they willing to help you? Are they willing to say that I am there for you? Don't worry. That is what will reduce stress. But most of us do not have that kind of relationship. So you need to define all these aspects which has been given to you rather than presuming that it is available with me, I am fine. If I am fine, then there is no problem. But then in the 14 people who have responded, most of the people said that sometimes, but in sometimes some of the questions are different, totally different from the answers which is given. So either they have responded without understanding it, or they have responded thinking that, okay, it is good to go by, sometimes. It is good. But what do you mean by sometimes could vary from person to person?
Now it's time to hear again from our chairman about announcements, because we have few people who joined after the commencement of the meeting.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Some of you who delayed or joined a little later, I was talking about CSI's new activity which we are planning for the year. I want you to join the CSI and take it forward. And we have every month, second Wednesday and the fourth Wednesday is the online meeting. And now we are planning to introduce the third Wednesday, a membership network in the office. We also have a hall and a boardroom, which is available on rent. If someone wanted to use that facility, you can use. You can inform in your campus to join as an institutional member if you are not. so that we can come over and exhibit a lot of things. Thank you, Maharajan sir. You can continue on it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And now, may I invite our secretary, Professor Dr. E.K. Girisan, to propose vote of thanks. Sir,
On behalf of the Computer Society of India, Coimbatore chapter, I am here to propose the vote of thanks
Thank
for today's webinar on de-stress for success. Actually, normally stress is not meant for success, but our Baburaj sir has clearly mentioned the differences between stress, pressure, and other things which are related to stress. And he has addressed clearly and given us more insights on addressing the challenges of stress management in our fast-moving professional lives. Thank you very much, sir, for your patience.
Thank you.
And also for preparing the webinar for in a short span of time. And we expect your presence in our office, as said by our chairman, so that we can have a one full day session, so that we'll
It'll
have.
be a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So once again, thanks to you for your valuable time and also for accepting our invitation for delivering the webinar on de-stress for success. Thank you, sir. Your explanation was with examples has really given us more, opened our minds actually by how to handle stress, etc. In a short span of time. Thank you, sir. I also take this opportunity to thank the active participants. There were around 114 participants who were from various backgrounds, which includes professors, industry persons, and students. I thank you on behalf of the CSI Coimbatore chapter.
Thank
And
you.
always we expect your participations in all our future endeavors. As said by our chairman, we will have more events in the coming near future in the months of April and May, and we always expect your participation in that also. Thank you, and thanks to those who raised the questions as well. It
Yeah.
was a session which was little interactive. And my thanks to our office staff, Mr. Durvesh, for rendering his coordination. Dr. Maharasan, the treasurer of CSI, for moderating this webinar. Our chairman, Dr. L. Venkadeshan, for the welcome address and the special initiatives. Dr. Sophia, madam, the MC member, for the guest introduction. Once again, I thank all, each and everyone who have participated in today's webinar. And as always, the CSI Coimbatore chapter will be there in the forefront in disseminating the information for the welfare of the society, giving thrust to the IT professionals particularly. Thank you all, and a very good night to each one of you.
it is me, Maharasan, who is the honorary treasurer of the Coimbatore chapter of CSI. Thank you all.